Hello, my friends. Kind of just want to, again, continue to share what I'm seeing on all of these issues that are happening right now in the country. The main thing being coming from the supposed China spy balloon that was shot down, and then from all these other unidentified objects that are shot down. Um, we see now Russia issuing, or the United States issuing a warning to all citizens in the who belong to the United States to leave Russia immediately. They're saying because of the tensions between Ukraine and all that. There's no way that's what that means. That means that you can expect America to be imminently planning for war head on against Russia instead of the proxy war that they're fighting against each other right now. You can plan for something to become head on. Whenever they announce that everybody must leave from abroad, that means they're preparing for war. No doubts about that. That's always been historically what has happened whenever those issues come out. And it's interesting because of the dream that I spoke of the other day about how there was a bridge about to be broken in a demilitarized zone, and I saw North Korea, or at least the initials NK, involved with this process. But as you look here, you kind of see a bridge being taken away. And what was the woman in that dream? What did she say to me? If we don't go home now, we can never go back home because of the war breaking out. And then I look today and I see that the United States is telling everybody that's a United States citizen to leave Russia. So that dream very well could have been pointing to that. I don't know why I would have been given the NK and her being Asian, though. That'll be something that I'll have to keep an eye on to figure out what that actually means. But as far as a declaration of, hey, if we don't go now, we'll never be able to get back, that dream showed, that happened exactly right here as I show you with this order to bring all the citizens of America back home. Something has to be connected to the Pacific with this, though, and I'm kind of beginning to understand what. And I'll show this to you. And it comes from the 99 Red Balloon song, or 99 Luftballons as I knew it at. And even up to 2 years ago, I was walking this song and understanding that it meant war and UFOs. I walk with somebody every single day for the last 3 years that can testify to that. Literally what we had walked on it was something to do with UFOs and something to do with war. And then we literally watch it playing out in front of us, as now you have China is accusing the United States now of flying balloons in their territory. China's coming out and accusing us. You have people in the Middle East claiming that they're seeing these suspected Chinese spy balloons now. And of course you have us that have been finding these different balloons or UFOs or whatever the heck that they are. And it goes back to the premise, the concept of that song. What is the concept of that song? That there's tensions between two nations. This is the reason why she wrote it. There's tensions between two nations. So people go out as a joke and they let 99 red balloons go up into the air, and all of a sudden the two different nations become paranoid at these balloons, so they start shooting at each other. And then you look and see what is happening with China and America. But doesn't that look exactly like what is occurring? Everybody has now become paranoid of these balloons. Is it China? Is it America? Who is it? And what are they? We don't even know that. It almost to me seems like God is making fools of the nations, just making them look like complete fools with their actions. And he's setting them up to fall for this trap, whatever it may be. And they're falling right for it. But regardless of whether it's the war in heavens or war on earth, both will happen. And these balloons are leading straight into that war because of the paranoia of them. And then you have the declaration calling everybody home from Russia. It appears as though that war is about to go live. And all of these things happen right at one point in time. All of the peace falls away and is taken from the world. There's no peace in the world right now, but I'm talking desolation coming into the world with no peace. Right now, there's still not that massive desolation that we understand is coming. But the moment that desolation comes, that brings you in a whole other period, which is the beginning of the tribulations. What a terrible time it is to be alive in those days for people walking on the earth. And you got to understand what that would actually look like, to go from everything that we have known into war. And it's the funny thing with all of these, preppers and everything else, and you listen to them, it's almost like they're excited about that. They're excited about the possibility to go to war or to hide out or to be done with all of this stuff. They have no idea what that actually looks like when it comes. They will be begging and pleading to go back to the days that they were still allowed to prep whenever those days come to them. Because nobody, once they're in a war, ever says, oh yeah, I'm glad that came, or I'm glad I was prepared for that, because you can't prepare for it, and nobody is ever glad whenever it happens. Maybe some psychopaths, but that's about it. So just kind of wanted to share those things. We still don't know what any of this is. We don't even know if it's actually happening, which is another thing, because who's telling us about this? The same people that have lied about everything else. The Department of Defense, the governments. They've literally lied about everything else. How do you even know that this is happening other than any eyewitness accounts? Which there are some eyewitness accounts of the balloons, but who knows whether it's even happening or whether this is just all planned. We don't even know that much. But the good thing for us who believe in the Lord is it doesn't even matter. Because when it gets to that point of desolation, where the destruction comes, where there is peace and safety and then sudden destruction overtakes them, in that moment, those who know the Lord will escape that. They will not be led into that temptation that is about to overcome and take over the people of the earth. They will be led out of that at that time. So for us who basically looks at the world as a calendar and checks off another day till we see an ending of that calendar, but we don't know when, so we just keep checking off days until that end comes. It's just one more day to check off on the calendar of all of these worldly events that are happening that shows you truly Christ is right at the door. And for us, that's all that matters. But just wanted to share these things as I feel they be important. God bless.